Well, good evening, everyone. I call to order the City Council regular session, March 5, 2018, 6 o'clock p.m. at the City Municipal Building. Please all rise to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Janet, take the roll call, please.
Alderpersons Egerbrecht.
Here.
Goodhue. Here. Hanson. Here. Klum.
Here.
Marty and Pantaleo have been excused. Mayor Hilson.
Here.
Street Superintendent Barry.
Here.
Thank you, Janet. Approval or correction of minutes for the meeting held on February 5, 2018, regular session.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Janet, take the vote, please.
Egerbrecht.
Yes.
Goodhue.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Klum.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Petitions and communications, citizen comment. Discussion of any topic brought before the council during petitions and communications. Tonight, the council is here to listen and not to interact. District Attorney Bonnet, would you like to start off?
Sheriff Boland's going to start off, if that's okay, Mr. Mayor.
That's okay.
I don't know where to stand. No, I'll stand up here. Is that all right?
It'd be good if you could stand where we could get you on the camera.
So I can get your picture.
That's why I moved it back a little bit so I could.
Thank you for allowing us to come tonight to speak to you. I've heard that there might be some concerns about the reason that we requested to be placed on the agenda. So to help ease those concerns, I just want to start by saying that we're here because we care about what we do and how we serve the citizens of Adams County, to include those who reside in the city of Adams. Last summer, I, along with several other concerned community professionals, drafted letters to the council to express our shared concerns with the service provided by the City of Adams Police Department. My concern was not to weaken the relationship with the City of Adams, or my intent was not to weaken the relationship with the City of Adams, but to bring those concerns to your attention that, from my perspective, had gone unaddressed, communicating only with the chief. We don't know how that was relayed to you, or how you received that from us. But I assure you that I was simply trying to create awareness of the concerns and hope to work together to discuss and resolve the matters. We're all partners in public service, and I felt that we should all be on the same page. I bring that up tonight not to dredge up the past, but because, from my viewpoint, that was a pivotal moment in the wrong direction for the relationship between the county and the City of Adams. This is a transitional period for the City of Adams with the vacancy of the chief position, and we're here tonight to once again express our interest in being partners with you as we all move forward together in providing quality law enforcement services to the citizens of Adams. I've heard plenty of rumors about the sheriff's office and my intentions, but I want to address one in particular. I'm not here because I want to take over the police department. I'm here because I have a shared interest in the law enforcement services provided to the City of Adams, and I want to partner with the City of Adams regardless of how you as the council decide is the best way to proceed and deliver quality law enforcement services to the City of Adams. I am personally and professionally invested in the City of Adams, and that is why it matters to me and what happens in the City of Adams. It's not because of a personal attack or because I'm sticking my nose where it doesn't belong, but because the Sheriff's Office and I are invested in what happens. We were able to pull a few statistics and examples to help illustrate that point. In 2017, the Sheriff's Office issued 96 traffic citations, 100 municipal citations, and 51 warnings within the City of Adams. In comparison, Adams PD issued 188 traffic citations and 73 municipal citations. The Sheriff's Office, without dedicated law enforcement presence in the City of Adams, issued half as many citations and almost twice as many municipal citations. From January 1st, 2017 through the end of February of this year, the Sheriff's Office was the primary responding agency for 21% of the calls for service in the City of Adams. And in addition, 14% of those calls, in addition to those calls, at 14% of the calls, we were the assisting agency at those calls. So that means only 65% of the calls were handled solely by the City of Adams Police Department. Some of those numbers can be attributed to the fact that there isn't always an officer working in the City of Adams, which means that the Sheriff's Office is responsible for responding to calls for service. I can give you an example as recent as last night. There's no officer working from shortly after 8 o'clock p.m. until about 6 o'clock this morning. Sheriff's Office responded to a call for service at Quick Trip for a disorderly subject, which led to a drug arrest involving meth again. I don't know if the council is even aware of the amount of times that there isn't an officer working and that the Sheriff's Office is providing coverage for those calls. This obviously affects the response time for calls and creates some confusion with the citizens of why the Sheriff's Office is responding for calls and not the Adams Police Department. At the end of January, after Chief Anderson reviewed and approved of it, I sent a directive to my staff at the Sheriff's Office that we would be the primary responsible agency to respond for certain person crimes that occur within the city. This action was taken to help ensure that the victims of these serious and sensitive crimes were receiving the same level of service the rest of the victims in the county receive. This again was done in coordination with Chief Anderson and not something that I arbitrarily just decided on my own. I bring these items to your attention not to belittle anyone, but again to communicate with the council of why the Sheriff's Office has a shared interest in the services to the citizens in the City of Adams. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to D.A. Bonnet for her comments, and I'll wrap up here. And as she's commenting, I'll just pass out that direction.
Thank you, Sheriff Willen.
I want to thank the council also for allowing us the opportunity to speak here at the meeting. I want to reiterate that my goal from the initial letter that I wrote in June of last year expressing my concerns about the police department has only been to ensure that there's good law enforcement service for the citizens and the crime victims who live in the City of Adams. I'm going to take a step back for a minute and start with a reminder that there's two parts to the criminal justice system. There's the work that the police do in the field and the work that the prosecutors do in court. So if you all remember Law and Order, that's how the show starts, with an introduction. The police make the arrests and the prosecutor makes sure that the work that they do gets forwarded to its conclusion. So without a coordination between those two parts, it doesn't work. If the police don't do a good job, the prosecutor can't do a good job. If the police do a great job and the prosecutor doesn't do his or her job well, then you don't get the justice that you need for the victims. So it's important that we be able to coordinate our efforts so that the whole system works better. I too am not here to talk about old problems. I want to talk about being a partner with the city going forward. I think that this is an opportunity for the city to decide what its law enforcement services look like. And I want to give you some input about what I think is really important from a crime victim perspective. My office prosecutes 100% of the criminal cases that come out of the city. I am the only criminal prosecutorial unit for the City of Adams. So if anybody was asking, why is this even my business to begin with? Or if anybody was telling you this wasn't my business to begin with, that's why it is. I literally am the one that takes all of the criminal cases forward to court to make sure that people get the justice that they're seeking. My expectation is that the department is one that I can give legal advice to, give feedback to on investigative strategies, and have the person that I'm communicating with have an open mind and good communication with me. That hasn't been the case in the past. It's very important that that occur because, again, if we can't work together, we can't ensure that we have the strongest cases to take forward to the courtroom. I also need to be able to trust the officers. I need to be able to go into a courtroom have an officer seated at the table next to me, put an officer on the stand, and then ask 12 people in a jury box to trust that officer. Most cases rely on what the officer says happened. And especially in this day and age where people watch shows like CSI and they think that there's DNA evidence for everything and video evidence for everything, they have high expectations for us. I've always enjoyed the ability to give officers the benefit of the doubt and to be able to go in the courtroom and ask the jury to do the same thing. I have a concern that if you're a crime victim in the city of Adams right now, 2 of 4 of the officers, that's 50% of the officers here, have a Brady issue. Now, you may have been told what a Brady issue is, and I want to make sure that everybody hears it from me. I have a law degree. I know where the law comes from. Brady comes from the Constitution, from case law, from our statutes, and also from the Supreme Court rules that tell me my ethical responsibilities. Brady is, if an officer is suspected of being dishonest, I have an obligation under both the law and my ethical rules to alert a defense attorney to that. To not decide what was true, what wasn't true, but to provide a defense attorney with information saying, this officer may have been dishonest. You can decide what you want to do with that. And what a defense attorney will do is they'll take that and they'll file a motion with the court to try to get that into trial and attack the officer on the stand in cross-examination about their potential untrustworthiness. Now, if you're a crime victim in the city of Adams, you have a 50% chance of your case being handled by somebody that has this issue. Right before your case is even started, you're disadvantaged because the defense has some ammo against the police officer involved in your case. I believe that integrity starts from the top down, that good leadership leads to good and honest officers, and it's important that we make sure going forward that we have that in place in the city of Adams. 2 other chiefs in this room make this work really well. I have a very good working relationship with Sheriff Woolen and Chief Lobby in his capacity at the town of Rome. If I have issues with legal errors that I see in cases, or maybe investigative strategy, I can pick up the phone or send an email to either one of them, and we can have a frank conversation. We respect each other's roles and responsibilities, and we trust each other to do the right thing. They've both had to deal with these Brady issues, and they've taken action to make sure that crime victims aren't put in a position to be disadvantaged because of it. It's also important, I think, if you're a victim or even just a citizen in the city of Adams, to know that there's buy-in from the top down in your police agency. We've talked a lot about meetings, and I know a lot of people aren't fans of meetings, but I want you to think about a meeting beyond the actual maybe hour that you sit in a room. Like, some of you maybe don't even enjoy being in this meeting for an hour every month, but meetings have a purpose, and there's a lot of good meetings going on in the criminal justice system in Adams. And a lot of us, some of us in this room, heads of other departments, make time to come together and sit around a table to talk about issues that are important to the citizens of Adams. If you're in Adams and your neighbor's a drug dealer, it will be important to you that the city of Adams doesn't sit on the task force that's designed to create a drug-free Adams County. If you're a victim of sexual assault, it will be important for you to know that the city doesn't send anybody to sit on the task force about sexual assault and domestic violence and making sure that there's a coordinated system for serving victims of those crimes. Those things matter to people. They want to know that it's not just sitting in a meeting for an hour, it's being a part of a mission. It's being a part of education, prevention, and a coordinated effort to fight crime. They want to know that their agency cares about those things. Going forward, it's really important that we have buy-in from the city. So again, I just want to wrap up and let you all know that I was raised on North Watt Street in the city of Adams. My dad was raised in the city of Adams. Over half of my immediate family lives in the city of Adams. I really have an investment in what happens in the city of Adams. I'm the prosecutor, not just for Adams County, not just for the sheriff's office, but for the city of Adams. And when I came back here to be a prosecutor, I wanted to make a positive difference, and I really wanted to prosecute criminals. That's the part of my job I'm really good at. I know how to fight with the bad guys. Fighting with the good guys isn't something I'm interested in. I want an agency that will work together with me so that we can do a good job in fighting the bad guys. Thank you.
Thank you, District Attorney Bonnet.
Just to wrap up, I've had individual meetings with mayor and other council members to discuss topics from Stillman Record System to contracted services to supervision. But I think it's important that all of the council receives all the same information at the same time, so that you can make an educated decision moving forward. And I hope that you see that we are not adversaries in this process, but allies and resources to you and to the citizens of the city of Adams. My goal tonight was for your takeaways to be that we need better communication, and that you can truly see that we want to work together to ensure the citizens of Adams receive the best possible services from their law enforcement. Thank you again for your time tonight.
Thank you, Sheriff Bullen. Mr. Smith?
I'll make this brief, just a real quick update. As you know, land was sold to Aspirus. I talked to several representatives from Aspirus. They have not done a press release yet. Them building a new facility in Adams has become the worst kept secret in the history of Adams County, and that's saying something probably. So they just made most of their employees aware of the new facility a couple weeks ago. So I would expect something forthcoming from them very soon. The Y, as you know, got slowed down a little bit in our meetings, but we have started to have meetings with potential donors now. We've met with a couple. No word yet on any donations from that, but from here on out, that will pick up steam and start to move forward a little bit. The city, as well as the county, asked me to check out the situation on youth detention facilities. As you know, the governor is proposing that the state close the one they currently have and build 5 smaller facilities. This is the same type of system that as other states have, and they find that it works. So of the 5 facilities, one will be a mental health facility that's located in Madison. 3 of the 4 other facilities will be located in Milwaukee, which leaves the rest of the state to grapple over the one remaining facility. Now, like I said, the legislation has not passed yet. I have been in contact with all of our representatives as well as the Department of Corrections. There is no process set up yet for how a community would go about submitting information to throw their name in the ring, so to speak, for that final facility. But I will, just keep checking on it, stay on top of it, so that when it does pass and that information is available, we can get it. The other thing that's a little bit new is, I got some handouts for you here. Last year in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the federal government introduced what's called opportunity zones. And I'm not going to go through the whole program with you because you get bored, but all the information is in here. And basically, Adams County, the entire county, either directly or indirectly qualifies as an opportunity zone. And what it means for us is that being designated an opportunity zone offers Adams County the possibility to receive different types of tax cuts and business incentives that would allow us a leg up in recruiting different businesses. Now the way this works is I simply have to go online and fill out, it's not even an application, just a form to make the state aware that we fall within all of the guidelines that were set up for the Opportunity Zone program, which we do. So I will get that done. Everything is due on the 12th, but I should have time to get it taken care of this week. And then the president has left it up to the governors of each state to determine. They each have a set number of opportunity zones that they can identify. So after all of the information is submitted, the governor will then take a look at each area that submitted their information, and he will decide which areas are designated opportunity zones and have the advantages of those tax credits and things like that. So if you have a chance, I will get this submitted this week. Like I said, contact your local your state legislators and let them know that we are putting our information in for that. And any word that their offices could put in with the governor certainly would help when he goes to make his decision. So, any questions? Thanks.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Smith. Yeah. Okay, moving right along. Report of standing committees. Public Works Committee, Marty, he is absent tonight. Fire District Committee, Pantaleo, she is absent tonight. Personnel Committee, does anyone in the council have any questions about any of this at all? No? Okay. Thank you. Okay, report of city officers. Mayor, that'd be me. Well, as everyone knows, we're under a winter weather advisory again till about 12 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So please drive safely, slow down, use caution, and please stop at the stop signs within the city or any place else. There are so many people that are not stopping for the stop signs. It's very dangerous to everyone. So please pay attention and adhere to them. March 11th, we spring ahead our clocks 1 hour for daylight saving time. That would be a good time to check and or replace your batteries in your fire alarms or your carbon monoxide detectors. So that's about all that I have for tonight, so thank you. Okay, Street Superintendent, Mr. Berry.
Just to reiterate what you said, with the snow coming, we're ready to go. I got the guys coming in at 4 tomorrow just to start opening streets up. Last I checked with the DOT's website, we're supposed to get about 7 inches of snow. Couple issues we've been dealing with all of the rain and that. We've had quite a few frozen storm sewers that we managed to take our jetter out, get them thawed out, get them flowing again. The other big thing with the brush pile that we've got back there, last year it cost us close to $5,000 to have that brush chipped. I've been in contact with the DNR to find out if we could possibly burn our brush instead of chipping it. I got a one-time exemption to burn our brush. We've got about half the pile burned already. I'm in the process of filling the paperwork out to get a burning license from the DNR so we don't have to spend the money to chip it anymore. But like I say, I did get a one-time exemption to start burning, which we started. We can only burn at certain times, burn small piles. It has to be manned at all times. We've got our fire tanker truck back there just in case, but things have been going really good. So other than that, just to keep things short, let's hope we don't get the snow they're talking about.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Berry. Okay, under new and unfinished business, number 1. Approved purchase of lighting for Burt Morse Little League Fields. Light Pole Plus is the company that's going to do it. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion to approve.
I need a second, please.
I will second.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Egebrecht.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passed. Number 2. Approve conservation easement with North Central Conservancy Trust, NCCT, paid by North Central Conservancy Trust. Do I have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve, but I have a question also.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, after I get a second.
Okay, anyone want to second it, please?
I'd like some more information.
Okay. We could make a motion to table it, I suppose.
I will make a motion to table that agenda item.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any questions? No. Janet, take the vote, please.
Hanson,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Egebert,
Yep.
Goodhue.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passed. Okay, item number 3. Approve enrollment in DNR Voluntary Public Access and Habitat Incentive Program. VPA-HIP, Burt Morris Rome Township property.
Is there anybody here that can talk on that?
No, I don't, there was supposed to be somebody, wasn't there?
I had invited him.
But he didn't.
I'll make a motion to table that item last on the agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay. Janet, take the vote, please.
Plum,
Yes.
Egebert,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think we need our attorney when that comes back.
That would probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, approve Chief of Police resignation, Brett Anderson.
I'll make that motion to approve the chief of police resignation.
I'll second it.
Any questions? None? Janet, take the vote, please.
Egebert,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Plum.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, item number 5. Approve hiring of Deputy Clerk Treasurer, Brenda Mead. Can I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, any questions? Janet, take the vote, please.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Egebert.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passed. Item number 6. Introduce, adopt resolution 2018-02R, addressing salary and benefits, deputy clerk treasurer. Can I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, we need to revise that, the wage needs to be at $16 an hour, and the probationary period needs to be at 6 months.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, Janet, can you take the vote, please?
What?
We have a motion first for the original, and then we have the other motion, so we need to rescind. We need a
Okay.
motion.
Do you want me to rescind mine first?
The first one.
Okay.
So,
Who made that
just to
motion?
approve, we had a motion and a second to approve the
I second.
resolution
Oh,
as
I made,
is.
yeah, I made the
And
motion.
then we have a,
So we're changing the amount? Yeah. So I'll rescind my motion. What did I say?
we made the motion.
I'll make that motion for the definition of fringe benefits, that the hourly wage is 16 versus 17, and that there's a 6 months probationary period.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, Janet, can you take the vote now, please?
Hanson,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Egebert,
Yep.
Goodhue.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passed. Number 7, approve issuance of operator license.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any questions? None?
Did they run this through the police department?
Backgrounds are checked.
Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Plum,
Yes.
Egebrecht,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed. Item number 8, approve issuance of temporary Class B special picnic license, Knights of Columbus St. Patrick's Corned Beef and Cabbage fundraiser.
I'll make a motion to approve the issuance of the temporary Class B license.
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions? No. Janet, take the vote, please.
Egebrecht,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Plum.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passed. Number 9, approve payment of the bills. Do I have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of the bills. I'll second that.
Okay, any questions? No. Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Egebrecht.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passed. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Hanson,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Egebrecht,
Yes.
Goodhue.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passed.